The Akoma. Day 5. Welcome, welcome. I don't have to say this anymore. If you're still with us, you're just different. You are
Happy Akoma Day.
You are exactly who Akoma Day is made for, because the world has moved on. You know, the Western world is focused on what is it next? St. Patrick's Day.
True. Everything's green.
So black folks are talking about how they won 24th Irish and stuff like that. And it's all the green stuff that's out here. But the reality is that today we are in the 5th day of Akoma Day. And today's virtue and principle happen right now. So what's the virtue?
So appropriately, it's endurance. Endurance is the ability to withstand hardships in life and in love. This involves invoking the power to bear the pain, hardships, stress, and hostile conditions in which we live. It's not a matter of if your relationship will be challenged, but when. In the face of adversity, your ability to persist is the evidence of an enduring love and enduring spirit. The couple that endures the trials of their relationship becomes an inspiration and an example to the universal Black family. What is the greatest thing you've persevered through individually? As a couple, as a family, give yourself credit for the things you've overcome. What characteristics help you endure? And I think that this is really important because this is not the same as struggle love. Like the idea of enduring and persisting through chaos and stress and toxicity, that is not what we're talking about. We're talking about the ability to persist through what is natural. So in developing your character, there's going to be some challenge. And this is, I think, what we don't expect is that there will be challenge in things that we want to pursue ourselves. We think it's going to be because we want it. It will come automatic and easy. And there is, as we've said, purpose, destiny, divine order. And at the same time, you have to be able to endure in order to achieve, in order to get anything.
Right.
And I think that this is something we are not taught, or we have, again, to implement all of the virtues, right? We need a little bit more patience. We need to maintain our faith. We need to be consistent. And this is something that we have to practice. This is not necessarily innate in a human experience, but it is something that is very necessary.
Yes. I think that I think we all want endurance, but we want our relationships to endure, and we want them to endure with a certain amount of ease, if I can say that word, without a certain amount of trauma. But the reality is we are a traumatized people, and
we're in a trauma-filled time.
We're in a trauma-filled time amongst a trauma-producing people. So we have to be able to repair. We have to develop the skill of psychological and emotional reparation, repairing from the damage that has been done. And the principle that goes along with this is unified mind. And it says here, a unified mind is a couple's shared thought process. It involves a shared mental diet and thinking of the unit first. Very, very important. One of the greatest liabilities in a couple is that we do not share our honest thoughts or mental food, i.e. news, magazines, books, music, television, film. This creates distance, confusion, and disharmony. For example, a man lusts over misogynistic themes as entertainment, while his mate indulges in the false imagery of the white fashion industry. Subsequently, they argue about how they see things and the world differently. In actuality, their independent and collective minds are detrimental to their relationship. This is mental conflict. For even though they claim that they want a healthy relationship, which is an ultimate value, Their actions or their beliefs reveal a lack of understanding or willingness to create that reality. Preeminent behavioral psychologist Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, along with her partner mentor, Dr. Neely Fuller, have identified 9 areas of people activity on which to focus our reconstructive action. And now it has evolved to 12 because at the time that we wrote the Akoma Day book in 2007, it was the 9. We actually added 2, and then Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, before her ascension, added another. So now there is 12. The areas are listed in exercise 15 in this chapter. We humbly extend the list to include the areas of fashion and food. And Dr. Frances Cress Welsing then came back and added health. So now they are education, economics, entertainment, fashion, food, health, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. Ideally, the mental food of the Akoma couple is culturally relevant. It respects the complementary and unique perspectives of Black men and Black women and promotes balance, clarity, and harmony. Often the questions we ask in life or relationships determine our mental focus. The beautiful thing about our brain is that it always answers the questions we ask. Unfortunately, the brain answers both disempowering and empowering questions. During this present cycle of confusion and backward thinking, we tend to ask ourselves questions that are inherently negative. Still, our brain attempts to answer these questions despite their unhealthy basis. The brain doesn't say, Master, this is the wrong type of question to ask yourself. Instead, the brain just provides the answer. For example, if you constantly ask yourself, why do I attract the wrong people? The brain will search for an answer for this question, even though it is not rational. The truth is that you may not always attract the wrong people in your life, but that you may simply overlook the right people when they show up for some reason. Another reality may be that the people who come into your life reflect your mentality in some area of your daily interactions. The key is to learn to control your mental focus. A vital way to do this is to ask better questions, which will program your brain to think differently. Examples of more correct questions to ask your brain about the above relationship dilemma could be, what consistent actions can I take to attract the type of mate I desire? How can I improve myself daily to attract my divine reflection into my life? What negative behaviors, people, places, and things could I change in order to open the way for a mate that has a more elevated level, that is on a more elevated level? How can I better understand husband, wife, mother, son, or friend today? Or how can I be a better husband, wife, mother, or son, or friend today? Naturally, these types of questions reflect more purposeful thinking and will condition the brain to think, speak, and act differently. I think that's very important, and we talk about that a lot. It's very, very important to use questions to control your mental focus. When we work with couples, we really show you how to do that. And then we walk with you and vet your questions and construct them in a way that they're the best kind of questions to produce the result that you need. But having a shared mindset, sharing some of the same things, one of the things that we do is at the top of the year, which Akoma Day starts our year, and it just so happens that it's at the beginning of the Greco-Roman calendar year, the second month in, and Black History Month, we kind of say, okay, this year, what are 3 or 4 books that we're going to read together? We're able to lay those out, and then by that way, we can know every season that we're kind of staying on the same mental diet, and we can share and really observe that we see things differently. We constantly have a different perspective on things, which is natural. This doesn't have to be the source of contention like it is for a lot of people, because we operate with the belief that if we're going to be together, we have to think alike. And we don't. We have to think together and be together, but we don't have to be or think alike. And that's what unified mind teaches us. So anything on that? Okay. Great. So this brings us to the close in the book. We have exercise 14, 15, and that is 16 and 17 is all dealing with unified mind. And you can look at that, the book list, the focus thoughts, and you can really get deeper into shared learning and the sensory orientation list, which is a really good exercise if you're familiar with it. If not, get your Akoma Day book right now and get to that, because it will really give you understanding. And this is really where the idea of things like the love languages comes from, the orientation list. So this is something that you should really pour your mind into. Single or couple, it's important to share this. So we welcome you to this 5th day. And, again, stay tapped in. We have some goodies that we're sharing with you on this day. And you share with us your thoughts, ideas, reactions, actions, and reactions to what's happening for you as we are the few who do moving forward in this 25th annual Akoma Day celebration. So as always, we're looking forward to interacting with you. And until that time, we're greeting you in peace. And we're saying,
Ni Akoma.
Ni Akoma.